Hello, Tribesters. I have a bunch of news for you. First of all, I posted a bunch of pedigrees. I posted my pedigrees. I wanted you to see what we're breeding on. So the current litter, the 2-week-old litter, the sire of that litter has the bred for longevity 1 sire. I bred that dog to Dory, and we got my A and my C litter. I still hope that Nala's dad will want to breed her by the time she's maybe 4, because she would produce a marvelous litter, and I'd love to get something out of her because of this longevity. So what I'm trying to show you here is why, as a breeder, sometimes you get to choose to breed to a dog that has a minor genetic flaw. Now, I've discussed this at great length, that this book right here from 1997 would go into detail about why you might choose that dog. The dog I'm going to choose is Boo Boo. Boo Boo is crypt orchid, so he has no descended testicles. That's his only flaw. He has perfect conformation. If he was 100 pounds instead of $120, he's 15 pounds overweight. His brother is 105. He could easily weigh 105, somewhere in there. But if I put that dog in the show ring, he would just have demolished anything. He's fucking gorgeous, and he's just chubby. But he's also 5.5, and I just did his halter, and it's perfect. I'm doing his next echo soon. I'm doing a troponin and pro-BNP test on him as well. I've already talked to Dr. Page about doing my echoes here very soon, because Dory does have some VPCs. Dory could still make it to 11 or 12. And had Baba not died of a complication from, he had a bleeding ulcer that actually was caused by my vet. My vet diagnosed him as having a condition called hemolytic anemia, and he gave him a prescription that caused him to have a massive abdominal bleed, and he had to be rushed to the ER. He was there for 2 days. It was $8,000, and he had to have 2 transfusions, and they were complications. He ended up having 107 fever for 12 hours that I couldn't break, and he just burned up in my arms. He was 9. His mom lived to be 11.9. She almost made it to 12. Her several of her offspring and her half-brother and several made it to 13. So what I want you to see is what I'm breeding on and why I'm choosing Boo Boo to be bred to, even though he has a genetic cryptorchidism. Now, I'm breeding for pets, meaning lots of people produce minor issues with their dogs, which cryptorchidism is minor. Sometimes they have 1 descended testicle. Sometimes they have no descended testicles. So in Boo Boo's case, it's no descended testicles, but he's intact and he can be bred. And I've consulted with my favorite person who is my mentor. Her name is Janie Klatt. She's a breeder out of New Mexico who's been breeding golden retrievers for a long time. And I also consulted with Natalie Green Tessier, who I have some more to tell you about her. Go away, BB, go. And a minor issue like this, in light of the pedigrees that are being bred everywhere in the country, double line bred on Azure Skies, Ravenwood's Azure Sky, which is Arsenal. They breed on him. He was a drop dead dog in one of the specialties at 5. There's also another dog out of someone I know has a dog named Cage and Dream, and these are top 20 dogs, like super winning dogs. They have a drop dead dog in the 3rd generation of their pedigree, which is being line bred on. So people are making decisions to breed on DCM dogs. So how many of you would rather have a pedigree of a dog like Boo Boo and have maybe a cryptorchid male that you're not going to breed anyway? They're a pet. You're not going to breed these dogs. I'm going to keep a female out of Gertie. So what I'm going to try to do is this. I have that semen from Phoenix, and I was going to wait and breed it to Phoebe, but I'm actually going to go ahead and get it out here and use it on Gertie to hopefully get a successful breeding on Phoenix and Gertie. If I do that, I'm going to do what's called a dual sired litter as a backup, because I would be just as happy breeding her to Boo Boo. So frozen semen only lasts about 12 hours. If it doesn't get fertilized in 12 hours, it's dead anyway. There's some people that believe 4 hours. Actually, most fertility people will say 12 hours. This dog had really amazing fertility. I don't know why it didn't happen for Phoebe, but I am praying that it happens for Gertie. But the next day, 24 hours later, I will be breeding her in a side-by-side breeding. It's artificial insemination because Boo Boo's just too big, and Gertie was traumatized by being bred. She's so tiny. So we'll be doing a side-by-side where I do a collection, we inseminate her, artificial insemination. Now his semen will last for days. So if Phoenix's semen didn't fertilize the eggs, then Boo Boo's would. So we do what's called a paternity test at the end, which is what we did with Shimako, because we used fresh chilled semen with Shimako last time. And because there was such a small sample, I wasn't sure if she'd get pregnant. We did a back-to-back breeding with Zeus. Well, all the puppies were out of Shimako. So his semen in that 24-hour period fertilized all those eggs that we had, and Zeus's didn't. So one of the reasons why people say don't do a dual sire litter is because one sire over the other is going to be dominant. Well, in this case, it's frozen semen. It's got 12 hours of longevity anyway. So when we inseminate her in the morning, by the evening, 12 hours later, it's going to all be dead. So the next day, the next morning, we would inseminate her 24 hours later, essentially giving that semen every hour of time, and then we would use Boo Boo. So I've had people disparage me already. I had this group that was doing a video about me saying, oh, she's breeding Boo Boo. Well, I haven't bred Boo Boo yet. I wasn't going to breed him. But I just, after much consultation and looking at his pedigree again and looking at all this stuff, Dory would have been a BFL2 because Baba and his Baba would have made it to 10. Dory's mother made it to almost 12. Her sire and before that were BFL1s. So I would have had a BFL2 with Dory. So I am breeding on lines that are not free of anything except bloat and CVI or wobblers. But cancer and DCM is certainly back there in my pedigrees. And some of the dogs in Baba's pedigree, which I showed you, one of them, she died at 8. But almost everybody in there was 11, 12, 13, 10. That's why I chose him back then. Because I had a Pride of Russia dog already, and I knew how terrible her pedigree was after the fact. So what I'm showing you these pedigrees for, and why I'm being transparent and telling you this stuff, is so that you know that breeders talk about this shit. They don't talk about it now, but they sure as fuck talk about it here. And they talk about it in everything else. So anybody that wants to come at me and flame me over this, come on. Come on down to Diva's town here. Come on down. Trash me all you like. But I am going to breed on a dog that has the pedigree that you saw, the pedigree that I got, the longevity that I have there, and I'm breeding on it because its conformation is fucking stellar. And when paired to Gertie, she's Argentine. It's completely different lines. Now, I'm going to explain to you the better bred, and the UC Davis and the veterinary genetics labs. 2 weeks from now, I am doing a live on YouTube with Natalie Green Tessier, the creator of betterbred.com. She's a fucking genius. We are doing a live in 2 weeks, and I'm inviting you all and my family and everyone to come and hear the live about betterbred.com and UC Davis Veterinary Genetics Labs and how to breed fucking better. And I'm going to tell you what my pairings came out as, the numbers they came out at on that thing. So 2 weeks from now, after 4th of July, live on YouTube, Diva Denissov starts her fucking podcast. Come see us.